Hey guys, what's up? Hunter here, and today I'm bringing you a 1 versus 1 on Lost Temple. Due to popular demand, Masq is back, the red Terran player at the 2 o'clock position, and his opponent today is going to be none other than Strelok himself. So Strelok definitely the better known player, as I've seen many Strelok matches, tournament matches, show matches, and he's always been a very strong Terran player. And Masq is certainly going to be the lesser known player, but I mean, in the past week or so, there have been a lot of commentaries done on Masq. He's a very, very strong Terran player, and he's been overthrowing the best. I mean, there were 2 games against White Raw that Masq really put on a good performance in both cases. He showed off his ability to surprise White Raw in the match I casted on Scrap Station, surprising him with a pure Marine rush early game, and then to sort of nullify the haters saying maybe he can't do anything mid-game to late game, he showed off his macro abilities on his second match against White Raw. I did want to cast that one very badly, and I wanted to get it to you guys over the weekend, but it was already casted by somebody else, so I'm not going to cast a game that's already been done. It is a good matchup, though, and that one was on Kulos Ravine, showing off his multitasking, his macro play, and his ability to outlast even a strong Protoss player like White Raw. So not only did he overthrow White Raw, but Hydra as well, and that was an embarrassing match for Hydra as he really raged hard. Very unprofessional in my opinion. But that's just a little background information on the lesser known Masq here, and now back to the commentary. So it is going to be a TvT, the first TvT I've casted, and so far both players pretty much identical builds, except for the fact that Masq is opting to wall in at the top of his ramp, whereas Strelok is going for the supply depot and barracks a little closer to home. Both players have gas up and running at this point, and Strelok's SCV has arrived in Masq's base. Masq scouting just a little bit later, but he is not going to have any problems because Strelok has not opted to wall in. Orbital command arriving for both players at the same time as well. So we're going to have to see where these 2 players are going to diversify their builds and how it's going to affect the game in this Terran versus Terran. This poor SCV running for dear life. Is he going to get away? No, being blocked in by another SCV, and this Marine is going to execute him. So goodbye SCV. Some scouting going down for Masq. Has Masq scouted? Yeah, he did scout Strelok already, so we're going to have to see what this SCV is doing. Maybe looking for some cheese or something like that. We'll have to see. Both players getting a factory at this point. So we'll see if these 2 players are going for the 1-1-1 build. Barracks, factory, starport, for those of you who don't know. And 2 gases already up for each player. So macroing up just a little bit at this point. Tech Lab going up for Strelok on his initial barracks, while Masq's barracks does not have a Tech Lab yet, so saving some resources there. So, and again, I mean, Lost Temple here. We're going to see if either of these players are going to be able to take advantage of the terrain, the high ground here, abuse the cliffs. That would certainly cause damage to Strelok's natural expansion, or same goes for Masq. We'll just have to wait and see. Armory on the way here, so we are going to see some Thors from Masq, and Strelok on the other hand is going to be doing siege tanks. No siege tech on the way yet, but he does have a siege tank coming in, and we're going to have to see what he does from here. Starport already arriving for Masq. And it looks like we do see Strelok here pushing out with 3 Marines and 1 siege tank, but with a high ground advantage and a secure wall in, I think Masq should be just about safe. Fast expanding as well, getting a command center up, going to float that over to his natural any second, and here we go. That siege tank's already taken a couple shots, and with the high ground advantage, focusing down the siege tank, and Strelok just barely got that siege tank out of there in time with 15 HP, completely nullifying that threat. So excellent defending there by Masq, and it looks like this little assault squad is going to head back home. The command center is almost done, and a starport is on the way as well. Strelok is getting a reactor on his on his barracks there. And it looks like we are going to see some Thor ships, as soon as this siege tank arrives, I would expect this medevac to head on over to Strelok's base. So what is Strelok going to be able to do to defend against this, as a very mobile Thor is going to always be deadly, especially against a Terran player. He's going to be pumping out Marines ideally to, well, not ideally, but it looks like it might be his only option. But not even that. Vikings, actually, excuse me. Sorry, not Marines. Vikings are on the way. And the high ground advantage now going for Strelok. Masq is trying to push in with a few Marines. And this Thor here, a very powerful Thor, assaulting 2 siege tanks, taking them out no problem. One-shotting the SCVs. So this Thor is certainly worth its weight, taking out 3 tanks and like more SCVs. Strelok is losing a lot of SCVs. The mule, poor mule, going down, and right at the last second lifting off there and abusing the cliffs and the terrain, using the medevac, focusing down. Does he get? He's not going to get the Viking. These SCVs do manage to repair that, but Masq was able to very effectively use this initial Thor to do a lot of damage, well worth the money. And the Viking is going to try to fend off these medevacs, and he better be, Masq better be careful. Masq dropping the Thor. He's going to have no problem pushing away that medevac, and now this Thor is just going to go to town on the SCVs. Nothing here to defend against this Thor. Strelok has got to come up with something in a hurry, because I'm not sure what else he's going to be able to do here. I mean, this one siege tank is just not going to be enough, and he does not want to lose his command center. Such an early command center to be losing like this, and I just don't know. Strelok has got to sort of turn the tides here, or is Masq going to continue to reign supreme and just dominate all these pro players? And that is it, GG. So a really quick TvT, Masq going for Thor ships as opposed to an early tank push with a fast expand for Strelok. A good counter. These Thor ships were entirely effective. So that's it. Chalk up another win for Masq, as Strelok is going to be joining Whiterot and Hydra at the drawing board, trying to come up with some way to stump this Terran menace. We'll have to see, as I will surely cast more Masq games along with other professional Starcraft matchups in the days to come. So thanks everyone for listening and watching, and if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. Hunter Starcraft here saying peace out.